Hi, I'm Professor Brielle Buckler, and I'm here to talk about my teaching innovation, which I put into practice this spring with my BUS 104 Introduction to Business class. My teaching innovation includes asking students to read traditional perspectives on offshoring and outsourcing, and then to interview friends or family members who work for large companies or own their own small businesses in the US or abroad to ask them how these concepts connect to their organizations. Perhaps someone's uncle owns a bodega and will comment on how he outsources the HR function so as to not spend tens of thousands of dollars annually on an HR manager. Perhaps a student will share that outsourced jobs from American companies to their home country economically benefited their village and led them to come to the US in the first place. The list goes on. I hope this innovation allows students to see beyond the often negative spin that is put on these critical business concepts and allows them to form their own points of view on what outsourcing and offshoring can mean for major corporations, developing countries, independent business owners, and families like their own. I tell students each semester that I want them to come away from my class with points of view they can support, not the ability to simply regurgitate what they've read. I think this assignment will require them to look inward, to their families and their communities, and to bring more of themselves to their submissions. I hope that by making this a discussion-based assignment, students will find common ground, will see themselves in each other, and will realize that while we may all look different, we may share many invisible threads. While most students took this semester the more straightforward route of reading additional articles and forming their own opinions on offshoring and outsourcing, one of my students actually interviewed a friend of a friend who lives in Vietnam and works in a manufacturing plant for activewear such as Lululemon. He provided a translation and general summary of their conversation, which demonstrated that while we may hear that conditions overseas are terrible for workers, they're often not. In this interview, my student showcased that this woman he was in touch with in Vietnam was rather content with her role, especially in comparison to friends and family members who are based in the rural countryside of Vietnam and make money through avenues like farming and livestock. The woman interviewed seems to compare her life to those of her siblings who wake up every day at 5 or 6 a.m., tend to the fields, and are exposed to the harsh elements. And she sees that her job is fairly simple and not as labor intensive. This personal profile and perspective is one that our class might not have had if not for the teaching innovation I discussed with so many of you during our faculty seminar. And I'm thankful for the guidance you all provided to steer me in the right direction and the direction of this innovation. I look forward to continue to make small choices in my assignments and content that may feel seismic to my students who finally feel seen in class. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in virtual person for our reunion today, but I'm cheering you all on. Thanks so much.